Welcome to Chattergang, the podcast about the magic and the gathering. I'm your host, Hope Beacon. You can also call me Jose. And today we have a guest who gets everybody in the club kind of tipsy, or maybe with the milkshakes brings the boys to the yard. Either way, we have an amazing bartender for the MTG community here, MTGDemonicTutor, aka Hailey. Hailey, welcome.
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Yeah, this is really fun. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Yeah. Sunday it's pretty kind to me so far, but
Good.
it's all
I
right.
love it. Yeah, but you know what? We'll try to keep it that way. We want to make sure we keep the Sunday good because if you leave here and then Sunday's bad, you got a lot of time in the rest of the Sunday for it to be bad. No, I'm joking, obviously. But Haley, well, I got to meet you in Atlanta for the first time. I've followed your stuff for a while, and you do a really good job. Correct me if I'm wrong on some of the information I'm about to throw out there, but you've been doing this for a little over a year, closer to a year and a half at this point now, based on the time of year that we're in, and you've been really throwing out there your love for community, your love for drinks and food and things like that, and mixing it in with your love for Magic the Gathering. Can you walk me through how you came to starting all of that?
Yeah, I was part of a podcast on YouTube called Cocktails and Counterspells, and we didn't film too much, but I would make a drink for the podcast so that we can all kind of, kiki, talk about magic, sometimes just talk about decks that we were doing or actual magic news. But then I found myself with more ideas than we had episodes, so I just started to post all of my excess stuff on Instagram. I like to have a drink when I play with my friends online. It's a
Mhm.
chill environment. We're all responsible adults. So yeah, it kind of started with that and kind of evolved heavily from that even after the podcast kind of went on hiatus.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's a really fun idea because, not only are you, and it's changed over time too, how you've done it. Because you used to have the three panel and now you just do everything in one video, right? With the
Yes,
recipes.
yeah.
But I really appreciate the thought that goes into it, especially the fact that not all of it is alcohol based. Like, we talked to Jason and Jason brought up the milkshakes, and, you've done a few milkshakes, you've done a few coffees, you've done a few just non-alcoholic beverages that are like club soda and some fun syrups in there. Like, what inspires you to do these things, especially when it comes to doing it related to magic?
Well, thank you for also noticing. I did not think I was going to be so perceived. I love this. Yeah, I've always really loved cooking, especially after college when I kind of have to like, oh, I got to take care of myself. And I
Yeah.
love I love a lot of like unique flavors and stuff, and it kind of carried over into making like a cocktail that I actually enjoyed because if I was going to have like a single drink, I wanted it to be kind of memorable and worthwhile or something kind of off the wall. So yeah, I was just trying to find something to do in this magic space because the more that I got involved in it and started to learn, the more I kind of wanted to be a part of it somehow. And I didn't really see too much out there with this. So I thought, this is what I'll do. It's like two things that I love at the same time. So it was my way of trying to combine those things and then share it with anyone who wanted to see it.
That's awesome. When did you start thinking, besides the podcast part, because you were making it for the podcast and then putting it online, when did you think like, oh, this is something that can carry me to, like, you were a creator at MagicCon Atlanta. So like when at what point did you say like, oh, like I can do this. I can really make this more than just posting these things for the podcast. I'm posting these things because I like it. I'm that to the point where I can post it because people are really noticing me.
I think that probably shifted for me. I started to get invited to play streams online with people,
Mhm.
starting off as strangers and then most of them becoming friends or
Mhm.
acquaintances. And it was kind of my moment of gratitude to be like, oh, wow, thank you for thinking of me, a random stranger online, to be a part of what you're doing for a few
Mhm.
hours. So I first started making cocktails for those streams. That got a little too hard to manage because I very gratefully I started to go on way more streams that I could keep up with making drinks for. So I was like, I will take a list of things that people like and I will release them weekly. And if anyone hits me up because they want a drink for something specific, I will more than happily share. So that's probably the shift in tone where I thought, oh, I can actually actively start reaching out to people and give them these ideas and
That's awesome.
collaborate.
Yeah, and so when you started doing that, what point were you like, "I'm gonna apply to be a creator for MagicCon?" What point were you like, I feel like I can do this"?
I'll be honest, I think it was a stroke of whimsy. I don't know why I applied. I kinda had a little bit of imposter syndrome. I don't really have a lot of numbers, which isn't really why I do this, but I thought, I'll do it. My friend Danny, Check for Traps, had become a creator in Chicago, and we were all able to meet up. I thought, well, I mean, I'll give it a go. They had done D&D in Chicago, so I kind of also pitched that within my creator application that I would be more than willing to host a D&D game for anyone who wanted to take a break from Magic and learn something new. It's all under the same kind of IP. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that really was just a whimsy, and then when I got that email that I was accepted, I stared at it for a good 2 hours rereading it, thinking, "I think this was sent to the wrong inbox."
Well, and I think it's awesome that you were able to do that, and I know that I can tell you that I thought about it myself,
Mhm.
and I had the same thought that you had, where it's like, I don't really get numbers, and is that really why I do this? No, but it's, it still feels good to get numbers, right? Like whether
Yeah.
or not that's why you're doing it, like seeing a high number feels good, seeing a low number can be kind of a downer, right? Whether we
Yeah.
like or not, we're human and we want to succeed at what we're doing. We want to be seen, as you mentioned earlier. You want to be seen. You want to feel like it's a success. But I'm so happy that you were able to get that opportunity because every time that one of your new cocktails comes out, I see so many people reposting that. I see so
I
many
oh.
people enjoying it, and it could be just I'm in the right community of people who are doing that, but I see them a lot and they all look fantastic. I don't drink as much as I used to anymore, but some of
Mhm.
these I'm like, I kind of want to try this. I kind of
I
want to.
I'm always so grateful anytime someone shares it, and especially like the day of when I see people share it when it's just been released. It like you said, it is nice to be seen. You're doing something to try and give back in a way, but if you do something creative, it's nice to make sure like see that somebody enjoyed it enough that they wanted to share it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it shows that you have I mean, for me, I think you're really hitting a niche in the space that no one was. And I know they have like I know there's like sip streams and like people will drink, but no one is that I've seen besides you is making drinks based around magic cards. And I find that so fascinating because it's something that you clearly love. You clearly love it, and it shines through. And over the time that you've been doing it, like your little setup has changed. Your the way you're doing it has changed, and probably for the better for you on some of that because it's probably a little cleaner than having to do like three different posts and it's a more black. You love the color black, so it's like more black background. You can definitely lean into that. I think that what you're doing is fantastic, and I hope that the fact that you got to go to Atlanta as a creator and the fact that you have these people following you and by the way, thank you for being here. That you're here shows that you are filling a space that maybe people didn't even know they needed filled.
My motto is I want to have fun, I want to meet cool people, and I want to play Magic with cool people. So if this is a gateway that helps grease the wheel and open the door, I'm more than happy to keep on going with it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Speaking of playing Magic, you how long have you been playing?
A little under 3 years now. I'm still pretty green, I would say. I've definitely ramped up in the past year and a half, but I still sometimes feel pretty green.
I mean, hey, at the end of the day, I think we're all like everyone's just a bad Magic player who says that they know what they're doing. So,
It's part of
uh,
the prerequisite, yeah.
yeah. No, none of us really know what's happening anyway. But what did you ever play any other card games besides Magic or any other like? I know you played D&D, but like anything else that was like in that realm?
No, D&D was my gateway into it. That and a very generous friend who taught me how to play since I taught him how to play D&D. It was like our
Um,
nerd exchange.
Okay, so tell me about that. So it was you teaching them D&D and then vice versa, right? So like what who started the conversation? Like, hey, teach me.
Yeah, so I started really DMing during lockdown because it was a
Sounds
little
about right.
easier. Yeah. Yeah. It was so much easier to organize scheduled games
Mhm.
online. So I brought in my college friend who I've now known for about 16 years, and he started to play and he was actually really into it. And we're still running a campaign together that I DM for him. Went to go visit him because he lives in a different state than me. And he was like, "Hey, do you want to learn magic? Like, I've secretly, not so secretly, have been playing for 26 years. This is like the thing that I'm into." And we were like, "What?" I was like, "Okay, yeah, I would definitely be down." And he had a bunch of Strixhaven bulk. And that was how he kind of got me into it because there's a Strixhaven module book for D&D 5e.
Gotcha.
We played for about maybe 2 hours at his kitchen table, all just monocolored decks so that I can kind of learn turn order, what each color does. And I was like, okay, cool. I went home and I immediately texted him. I was like, hey, I just ordered a box of Strixhaven cards to like crack open. I was like immediately into it. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you got into so you got in during the Strixhaven time.
It was
So
after it was released because yeah, but that's kind of what I knew from it. And then I've kind of gone and back cataloged other sets.
okay, what is your what set that you've cataloged so far? What is most spoken to you?
Oh, I think anything Innistrad. I love that sort of gothic feeling. It has a lot of the typal cards that I love to
Yeah,
play. It has some of my favorite characters as well that are like reoccurring. So anything Innistrad base, even Crimson Vow and Midnight Hunt,
I was
I will
literally
love.
about to ask. I personally am a huge fan of the double feature lands, the basic lands. Uh,
Beautiful.
they're top 5 for me, I would say,
Yes.
maybe top
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
But they're gorgeous. So I don't think those sets are as bad as people felt they were, but I want to preface this. I do hate day and night. I hate that mechanic.
Yeah. It's a great set to curate from.
Yes, yes. Plus Chandra Dressed to Kill, and I'm a huge Chandra person, so I can't
Okay.
really like hate the set all that much, you
Yeah.
know.
I'm a Thalia girly, so that's why Innistrad
Oh
for
yeah.
me. Mhm.
Yeah, there you go. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. So you've been playing Magic for a little bit. You've been ramping up recently. What are some of the things you like playing the most? I know we talked a little bit before we started, but like what are some of the things that you enjoy most playing in Magic?
Yeah, I probably right now I'm getting into like I did mention that I'm adding a little splashing blue into my life. So spell slinging has been pretty fun to do because prior
Yeah.
to that, with learning magic, I did a lot of typal decks. I think that's kind of the easiest thing to
Yeah.
learn. And
Yeah.
there's so much support for it. And then I started to do really aggro decks, whether they be like Boros Voltron decks, or I have a pet deck everyone knows me for. It's all +1/+1 counters. And
Hmm.
I just anything I do is combat. So I'm now really just trying to explore doing things outside of that. So I my Ishtola deck, my Spellslinger
Hmm.
slightly stacksy deck, which
Of
you
course,
know
of course.
it's hard to avoid, but
It's
I
Esper.
love
What can you
playing it.
do?
Yeah. So yeah, alternate play styles outside of just like dwindling down somebody's HP in their life from combat is what I'm trying to now grow into comfortably.
How's that making you switching over to that? Like, does it feel natural? Does it feel comfortable? Or are you kind of like, this is weird?
It was really exhilarating once it clicked, which didn't take too long because I took that
Right.
Ishtola pre-con. But I was like, oh, wait a minute. This is fun. It's fun to play it. I still understand people not so much against it, but I go, oh, wait a minute. I kind of like this. I like saying in response. I like I like I like tapping out this mana not to just, play a big old enchantment or a big old stomping
Yeah.
creature.
No one realizes how much they like saying in response until they do it.
Yeah, that
Like,
one taste of power.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
so good.
No one wants to hear it, but
Yeah,
everyone wants to say it.
exactly. Yeah.
So I totally understand that too. So you've been playing a lot online, and obviously, like a lot of that where you started had to be online because we were in a situation where that we were just coming out when you started
Yeah.
playing, right? Just coming out of lockdown and stuff, and then you've grown with the community, and like you talked about earlier, you've started playing more over the past year and a half. How has the community made you feel while getting into Magic more and more and trying to understand it and switching your play styles and becoming a content creator? How's the online community affected you, been a part of that for you?
Directly, extremely, extremely fortunate. I can't say I've ever had a case where it hasn't been just a wonderful experience, the people that I meet and I get to play with. And I think the more people you get to play with that are like-minded, the word spreads. Like if you can't make a game, I know if I can't make a game, someone reaches out to me, I go, "Oh yeah, but I here's X, Y, and Z people who are really chill and really cool," which then just kind of helps grow the
Yeah.
community even more. Like, hey, I know this cool person to play with, and I've had that happen to me. So it's been very wonderful, very exciting to meet all these people. I'm
Well,
always eager to learn too. That's probably I think what helps because I have so much to learn.
so is there anything particular like I really want to learn this thing right now, or is it just like as it comes, you're like, oh, I want to know, I want to learn this now that it's in front of me, kind of thing.
I'm really excited to kind of more so just the lore. I'm
Okay.
catching up a lot on that because I jumped so hard into trying to play so that I could play at the levels of everyone else who has experience. I now want to be able to go back and like speak to what these cards are, speak to what is happening within a set. So
Yeah.
I think doing the history of Magic is next on my to learn list.
That's awesome. Are you gonna do it like, are you gonna try to obtain the books, or are you going to try to do it through online stuff? Or do you even have like a method that you're trying yet?
Probably starting online. My friend that I mentioned who's been in Magic for about 26 years is a lot of
Yeah.
times my phone a friend, or
Okay.
I'll have something and I reach out to him. But mostly online, I think, just because it's so much easier for me to listen to when I'm doing stuff. I mean, outside
That's
of
fair.
Magic and work, so a lot of stuff, a lot of YouTube essays, in the
That's
background.
that's very, very fair.
Mhm.
I can totally understand that. So as going back to the community aspect of it, you at Atlanta, when I got to meet you, you were so warm and so like willing to just converse. And that meant a lot to me. That's why I wanted to talk to you here, because I wanted to learn way more about you, because you seem just like a very genuinely fun person
Well,
to
thank you.
be around. No problem. No problem. How did that experience in Atlanta affect you, or how did it change your view on things?
Ooh, Atlanta was a whirlwind. I don't know if it
Yeah.
was because it it was the first time that I went alone and I was meeting people up there versus
Yeah.
having like a buddy system. So I don't know if
Yeah.
that was a factor. I also had the creator badge and I was doing stuff every day and was privy and super excited to like have access to that creator space
Yeah.
to meet people who were moving and operating in the same circles for the better, but it was certainly overwhelming. So I'm glad
Yeah.
I'm glad that I left a very nice lasting impression because by the end, I just remember being so overstimulated. I'm like, wow, there's so much. It was all great things. I remember appreciating it almost more after I left because I had time to process everything that had happened.
Yeah, it is really hard to like, I wasn't there as a creator, but I was around the creator central most of the
Yeah.
time. And there was just so much going on. You're right. Like it's a mile a minute. Someone's recording something. Someone starts yelling like, "Hey, come over here!" And then everyone starts moving that way to do something with like Jimmy Wong, or mental misstep, or mental misplay or something, like just
Yeah.
all so much going on all the time. But it's you're right. It's really cool meeting all those people who are just people at the end of the
Yes.
day.
Yeah.
Like they're just people.
Mhm.
We're all Magic players. We're all just like there to play the game and meet cool, fun people.
Yeah, and that's the
Yeah,
thing. You have so many like plates juggling at that because you want to meet all the people that you've met online already and talk to them. You want to meet new people. You want to play Magic. You want to do like so the best overstimulation, I should say.
yeah. One of the people that I was most excited to meet was Myrna from Women Plus in Magic.
Yes, yeah.
Myrna is one of the nicest people, and I know I say that about like literally everyone I talk about, but this community has been so amazing to me. There's not many people who I would say are not good people, or like not super nice, or one of my favorites. But
Mhm.
Myrna is so great, and what they're doing with Magic, especially for women and non-binary people, I feel is so important. And I myself am not a part of that community, but I am a very big advocate of people in oppressed groups, people in minority groups need to work together to pull each other through the things that we all go through. And I think that they're doing a really good job. And seeing how many women were, and how many femme presenting people were at MagicCon was heartening to me, because I've been playing since the '90s, so like it's been very male dominated for
Uh-huh.
most of the time, right?
Mhm.
So what did that mean to you, to see like Women Plus in Magic, to see the different groups of people there who aren't as widely represented as, at least to me, that haven't been widely represented in the community as maybe it was seeing them at MagicCon.
It was very heartwarming. I think when I started out, because it was mostly online, I was fortunate to meet a lot of women and female presenting creators in the space. I only recently found an LGS, and I kind of had a wake up call of like, oh, this is what some of those stories are about.
Yeah.
It's a very nice space, but there are times where I go and it's like, I wish there was someone else like me here. So
Yeah.
then having a few recent experiences like that it was refreshing to then go to MagicCon and be like, oh no, we're out here. This is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get to participate in any of their events or any of the like She EDH or anything like that?
That was my only regret because I was so busy doing stuff. I was able to go to their table and kind of introduce myself and have a quick chat. But I really wanted to go to their panel on Sunday. And I unfortunately missed it because I forgot that I had a meet and greet around the same time. And I was like, oh,
Mhm.
but I love all the stuff that they also have online and their resources that they offer to people. Yeah. So my one regret is that I wasn't able to go to that panel and actually sit and just be able to take everything in.
I went to their panel. It was fantastic. But I'm big fans of all theirs. Eliza, Marina, they're great.
Yeah.
They're great individuals, and Stephanie is great too. So like,
Mhm.
I'm happy that it's something that's in this space. But when you started, obviously they weren't there. So
Yeah.
what kind of shifts have you seen being someone who's in that group from even just the time that you started until now?
It's exciting for me to see more women hosting shows online too, even in my short time here. There are
Yeah.
times where I'll go on a stream and I'm the only one there, and that's fine. But to
Yeah.
see and have people reach out that are now taking the depths, girl splaining gaming is now
Mhm.
starting to host, and I've gotten pretty close with her, and I'm super excited that she's kind of taking that
Yeah.
plunge. So, I mean, Girl Pod is a staple as well too. I
Of course.
love Girl Pod. I'm in tears laughing and crying with them because they're so
Yeah.
warm and open. But yeah, it's exciting. I think that's the shift that I've noticed personally. I see more and more taking the initiative to host discords and to host game community game nights or to host streaming games, which is exciting to see
Yeah.
to see that.
Yeah, and you're right. Like that is definitely a shift that I've seen over that time too. But I know for me, the thing is black brown people in the space, and sometimes there's a lot of times where I still feel like we're underrepresented in the space.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
are there times where you still feel like, I mean, obviously, the representation isn't all the way there that that you would want it to be, because one of the things that they talked about in the Women Plus and Magic panel is the fact that they had to make the group is
Yeah.
part of the problem, right?
Mhm.
And like you would rather not have the group, which means that we're in a place where we're fine and you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. But how do you feel like how do you think we are getting there? Do you think like this is just the tip of the iceberg? How do you feel about where we are today with women and non-binary individuals in Magic the Gathering?
I think it's the tip of the iceberg, which is not a bad thing. I think
Mhm.
it's exciting. I mean, the fact that they were even part of the Gathering Grounds, I mean, Birds of Paradise as well too. I think that is a big step of it being acknowledged by Wizards of the Coast as something that should be highlighted and spotlighted. And at an
Yeah.
event so large where there's so many people who can come into contact with those kind of conversations.
And from the Netherlands, and they're going to Amsterdam next year too,
Oh,
right? So like
yeah.
they're
Mhm.
practically the hosts for next year at their
I would
group.
imagine, yeah, that they're gonna have the run of the space in the best way
Yeah.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, they're great. I'm so happy for what they're doing, but
Yeah.
it is one of those things where, you wish that it wasn't a need, right?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
You wish that these conversations weren't necessary, but they are, and it's progress. Like you said, it's a tip of the iceberg, and I agree. I think it's a tip of the iceberg. I think we're getting there. You're having podcasts like where Z Main and Nerd Girl
Mhm.
and Bells are doing something together. And then you have like Sophia, I should say. Sophia. Sorry,
Mhm.
Sophia. She has her pod, and congrats to her on winning the cosplay competition
Oh,
side note.
yeah.
But it heartens me to see more things like that, and that there is at least good allyship from the people that we're around. right?
Yes, yeah.
And I'm sure you noticed that too. And maybe you can talk to me about that, about the allyship that you've seen from people who aren't women, who aren't non-binary, who have made you feel safe in this space. You know, could you talk to me about that?
Yeah, I gotta give a major shout out to Perfect Seven. I love those guys, and getting to meet them at MagicCon was definitely a highlight. Great, and I know that they work really close with Girl Pod quite a bit too. The Janky Casual, if anyone knows about
Love
all those themes, also yeah, also a great guy to have around. He was very much my con buddy this time, always checking in with me and always looking to play games and kind of just
Everyone
shoot over
needs a
too.
everyone needs a safety human at con. I will say that right now. That's my
Yes.
con. Have a safety human.
Have a someone who will you will check in with and who will check in with you, not just physically, but also emotionally. So
Have you drank
even think
water?
yeah,
Have you had a
yeah,
breakdown yet?
yeah, yeah. "Hey, you wanna sit?" Or, "Hey, you wanna get out of this place? You just wanna go walk around outside?" I think even I've met so many people who were willing to kind of have that conversation with me there, so it not being on a huge sponsored level by Wizards of the Coast is indicative of a change of people just being willing to, like, have that conversation and not just be like, "I'm just here to play games. I'm here to do whatever." Like, that
Yeah.
was heartwarming too.
Yeah, I'm really so I'm very much the same person online that I am in person. Like I am super thankful. I'm super. You're gonna hear me say thank you a lot. You're gonna like I'll be appreciative, whatever. But the time at Atlanta really changed me for the better. Like that's part of the reason I wanted. I was already thinking about doing this, but
Yeah.
then that time actually meeting people who were like really cool and like really
Mhm.
nice, really thoughtful, made it feel so much easier. And you're right, like, it was just nice. Like,
Yes.
it
Yeah.
was crazy. It was crazy,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
it was nice.
Yeah, that is another one of the I'm gonna probably say this a lot, one of the best things about it. It was nice to meet somebody, especially if you've had that conversation with someone online, and then you meet that person and they're the same person that
Yeah,
you talk to, if not even better. Someone
yeah,
who's like, "Okay, we're not talking about magic. What do you do?" Like, getting to know someone past just what we all do in this space was
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, it really, really was, and speaking of that, something I do wanna talk to you about more specifically is how you got into making cocktails in general, because obviously we talked about the magic related portion, but how did that start at all? Like, did you go to school for that, or did it just become something like a fixation? Like all of a sudden, you like taught yourself everything, and now you know how to do all this stuff incredibly well because it all looks great.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Definitely a
Mhm.
fixation. I was straight edge in college until 21, and
Okay.
then so by my senior year, I felt like with my friends, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to these parties now, and I'll have a drink." And I used to it became like a running joke that I would like make really good drinks, even though I had zero experience, or I would like always find the best thing to get at the liquor store for us to kind of party. And as I winded down, it just kind of became a fixation because as you get older, you get more responsible. I was like, well, I'm drinking less, and I said I want to have one good cocktail. So it just really kind of was born out of that need of like, well, I better make it good. It better be something that I'm going to enjoy.
Have you
But no,
ever? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say no. I'm definitely more of like a almost Frankenstein method as opposed to any sort of academic background in making cocktails. I have an idea and then I try to reverse engineer it and go, okay, this works now.
Oh, that's fantastic. I think that's the best way to do it. If you're not going to school for it, you might as well at least,
Yeah,
like be like, okay, how do I do this? How do I do this backwards? It's
yeah.
fantastic. Has there been a time where you how do I has there been a time where you went to make something that you were so positive was going to be fantastic, and then you were like, this is terrible.
Oh, all the time. Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
you put you put the good stuff out, but there's definitely been times where I've made something, and but there's also been times where I've made something that was objectively terrible, and then
Mhm.
you kind of put it away, you tuck it away, and you revisit it a couple months later, and you approach it differently, and you kind of slowly chip away at it. So, but yeah, no, I've definitely had duds that don't see the light of day.
That's fair. Do you have a favorite thing that you've made?
I'm really on a milk punch kick right now. The Flibblefifth one, which I think was also one of my first drinks where I kind of changed my setup as well too. I did
Mhm.
a fruity pebble milk punch cocktail. I loved it for so many reasons. It was silly. I had a blast trying to figure out how I was going to do that. It was extremely technical and something new for me to do, and the result was, I'll say it was pretty divine. I loved it. So I
I
think,
love it.
yeah, the Fruity Pebble Milk Punch for Flibble Fifth was top tier for me.
I was like that was your second one after changing your format. So
Yeah.
only only because you're demonic tutor, we have to shout out in our ward. But I think that one is. I mean, all of them are really beautiful. Like just
Thank you.
beautiful. Whether if you know, I'll never know. You know, I don't know. And hey, if you ever want to make me one, I'm all about it. But
Yes.
like, I'll never know otherwise other than looking at it with my eyes. I'm like I'm happy,
Thank you.
I think that's fantastic. Also, you have an amazing glass collection. Can we talk about that?
Oh, sure.
The number of different types of glasses that you have, and like I know, you know, you have like your rocks glass, you have your
Mhm.
you know, like your wine glass, you know, your regular I don't know what to call it, but like the glass that you think of when you're like I would like a glass of water, like that kind of glass. But
Oh,
then
yeah,
you
yeah.
have like but then you have like the different shapes for like the like I think of it as like Kalahari type
Mhm,
drink shape, like the scoop in the middle and then it scoops out
mhm.
at the top. You have the martini ones that like I literally only see at fancy places. Like, what is your
Oh,
glass
the
collection like?
wide print one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like, what is your glass collection look like?
I will say that's kind of has evolved from this endeavor. Some of it I had. It's getting more extensive by the day. I think as a lore drop, I went to college for ceramics. I wish that I could actually film a way where I can show off all of my ceramic cups and mugs and glasses that I have in a
Yeah,
way. But I mean, obviously, glasses and cocktails is much more readable. No one's
yeah.
going to want to look like here's a completely opaque item you can't see through. But just believe me, there's a cocktail in there. Yeah.
Trust me, it's
Trust
great.
me, it's the best. It's so colorful.
But so you've been collecting glasses over time, which is awesome, by the way. Like I think that's really cool. Is there like is there a go-to like place that you go to for them, or is it just, you know, I want this, I'm gonna go find this kind of thing? Like what is your inspiration when you're like, I want to get another glass for something?
I scour a lot online, I'll say. Sometimes I have this one glass and I'm waiting for the right cocktail to do that I got gifted to me. But I do a lot of online scouring for things that are unique and interesting, especially if I see something online, like if I see a drink and I go, oh, what is that glass that they're using? I'll usually then immediately go in and buy it. I don't really have a good impulse control on that. So it's a lot of I see something really cool online and go, oh, I want to find something similar. I don't want to copy it, but let me see if I can grab that.
That's hey, you know what? I love that. I love that. Just like you keep doing that because I these things look amazing. I know I keep saying that, but I mean it. Like these are I am just as much about the drink as I am about like the glass. I'm like the one you did for Atlanta. It has that little thing in the middle, that little like
Oh
key
yeah, the
thing in the
little
middle.
like mason jar almost style.
Yeah, and I was like,
That
that's so
stamp.
cool.
Oh.
That's so cool. Like, there's no way I could get that many glasses in my house at this point. My house is a little too small for keeping that many glasses, but I think it's really cool that you have all of these.
I'm losing space too, so I'm right there with you. I might have to scale back on my impulse and go, "Oh, I need this," and I go look at the space and go, "I don't think I needed that right now."
Just get a bigger space. No, I'm just
I
joking.
know.
Did you ever actually bartend before?
No, that's my secret, kids. You don't have to bartend to just have a crazy idea and ambition. I've actually not. I've done a lot of research now doing this and kind of reading. I've got a lot of books too that I've been trying to read so I can just know more about the balance of stuff because it's
Mhm.
fun to have a crazy idea and maybe it tastes good, but maybe I could have if I had the knowledge, maybe I could have either made it better or not have to get so much effort to get the end result because somebody else already knows a quicker way of doing this.
That is always nice to be able to
Yeah.
like just find an easier way. That still works and is good. That still
Yeah.
works and is good because there's plenty of times that there's not. But you're also a foodie, right? Like
100%. Man,
talk to me. Are you like? Do you love cooking? Do you love eating? The both? You both it? Like what's your passion for food like?
I love eating, so I love cooking. I I'm such a hedonist. I have 2 modes. It's either, like, really crappy junk food that just hits the spot or something, like, super elevated. I used to be a really bad cook, and then
Okay.
I watched a lot of cooking shows, and I just wanted to be, like, sufficient enough to take care of myself,
Mhm.
and then I fell in love with the process of cooking. It's really, like, methodical and meditative for me. I can kinda zone out and just focus on it. So I really pushed myself after college to teach myself. And then I just love eating, so I'm like, "Well, if I love eating it, I should work for it. I should put myself through the ringer and figure out how to make this so that way I feel like I reward myself with eating that overly decadent meal that I made."
That's fair. That's fair. I love that you say that you were not a good cook, and
Oh,
now through the learning. So that also shows, like sometimes hard work and effort can make it happen. Sometimes it won't because there are some people who try really hard and are still terrible at it. But you figured it out, so that's awesome.
thankfully, thankfully.
Yeah, thankfully. Is there a favorite thing that you make that you like to eat, or like if someone was like, "Hey, will you make me something?" This is like your go-to to make for people.
Ooh, okay, yeah. My kind of calling card, because if I go to visit my friends too, especially, I always want to offer, like, "Can I cook for you? Thank you for having me." My go-to is beef Wellington, and I'll usually do
Ooh,
that. Yeah, I'll do that with like a really nice sort of like peppercorn cream sauce if someone's into that. If that's not their deal, I'll do like a red wine reduction sauce for it. Usually some, like, really nice roasted fingerling potatoes, get some of that duck fat confit going on with it. Oh, that's probably my calling card
you
and what I
really you really meant it when you said like high class, like high end. Dang.
Yeah, but then the next day I'll be like, "Give me that blue box of mac and cheese, baby."
You know what? You know what? We all have those two sides on us. I totally get
Yeah.
that. I agree with it. So, where did you learn, or who did you watch to do the Wellington?
Oh, Gordon Ramsay. It's kind of almost synonymous, yeah. I
Yeah.
watched almost all of his shows, which also inspired me to, like, I should learn how to cook. I should do this. I don't
Have you
want
ever
him
gone
yelling
to
at me.
Have you ever gone to his restaurant?
I haven't. That is on my bucket list. I would like to go to one.
Okay, because I wanted to know how if compare yours to his, see what it's like.
I
Um,
I'd place my money on him.
hey, you never know. You never
It's true.
know.
Yeah.
Anything is possible. But okay, so you beef Wellington. That's a fantastic take, by the way. Like, I love that. What are some of your favorite food? I want to say genres, but like that you know what
Sure.
I mean. What
Yeah.
are your
Yeah.
favorite types of foods that you like to eat?
Oh, Korean food number 1, always and forever. I like a lot of Asian food, a lot of East Asian food, Japanese food, Chinese food, traditional
Yeah,
Chinese food, not just,
yeah.
takeaway.
My wife lived in China for 2 years, so I understand. I
Oh,
now
yeah.
understand
The difference, yeah.
traditional Chinese food. Yeah.
But I love, and this might speak to sometimes I just like to get my hands, like, really dirty and have heavy food. I love English pub food, sort of that
Oh,
style, like heavy, heavy meat pies and cottage pies and stuff like that.
okay, that's awesome. I do. I love that it's so you went from like what feels like more of a lighter, more like I love KFC, right? Like
Yeah.
Korean fried chicken is like the best in the world to
Mhm.
me. I love Japanese food. I love whether it be American Chinese or I really have gotten to appreciate traditional Chinese food because every time we go
Mhm.
to a Chinese restaurant, I'm like, hey, like, what do you think? And she'll try to find something that feels more traditional. They always add
Yeah.
something that's like, not traditional. Like they'll add
Mhm.
like snow peas or they'll add those little corn things that
Yeah.
whatever, like the filler stuff. But like
Mhm.
generally speaking, like it's kind of toward that. And then to go to pub foods,
Yeah, oh god.
that I
Yeah.
think that just speaks back to the blue box mac and cheese beef Wellington thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
like
Hey,
it can be both things.
I'll have a clean, beautiful bowl of ramen and, like, a high-end, Japanese whiskey or some sort of cocktail, but then
Oh,
I will also have that shepherd's pie and, like, a beautiful a beer to just kinda wash it all down.
I, I,
I I'll never be mad.
fair enough, fair enough. Well, let me ask you this about being mad. Is there a
Mm.
food that you don't like, and maybe particularly something that people typically do like that you are not a fan of?
Yeah, mushrooms, I will cook with them. I love the flavor. I respect the mushroom, but it is a texture thing for me. I will not eat the mushroom. The only time I do is in a beef Wellington because they're so fine,
Yeah.
diced and wrapped in it. But yeah, that's my I don't think it's that controversial. I think it's pretty divisive. Either people are very pro or against, but mushroom for me,
I agree with you.
It's all
Absolutely
about that
correct.
texture. Love
Yeah.
them. They smell so good. They when you're cooking with them, it's great. They totally enhance gravies and sauces and everything. And then I eat that mushroom and I just bleh, turn into a
Yeah.
child. Like, gotta spit it out.
I agree with you. Is there anything that like based on what we've talked about so far that you love that people typically do not like?
I don't know if it's things that people, not that I can think of
Okay.
immediately, but I do have a food that I think sometimes people are like, "Oh, I will eat a bowl, just a giant bowl of sauerkraut." I love sauerkraut. And
Wow.
I don't know if it's because I grew up with eating a lot of traditional German food because my family is German. But yeah, I that could be a meal for me. Just a beautiful braised sauerkraut with like, oh, with a little fennel in it. I don't even
Oh,
need the bacon for it. I'll eat a big old bowl of that. So
so
not it just
this makes
that's like a weird thing for me. That's a girl dinner thing.
That's funny. So it's funny that you like one of the times that we got to speak. I don't want to say the most, but like, and got to interact a little more was outside of the German restaurant.
Oh god, yeah.
And so, did you just have like a bowl of sauerkraut there?
I had some of it with what I ate, but usually when I go to a German restaurant, I will judge them based off their Spätzle.
Okay.
But it was okay. I think I didn't have the best. I will not name drop the where we went, but I didn't have the best service experience. But
So you were with
the
Steph.
Spätzle was
So
okay.
you were with Steph, is what I'm
I
hearing.
I may have been part of that adventuring party.
Okay, we don't have to get into that whole
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I
But it was okay food. It was definitely okay. But and
okay,
I had sauerkraut, I had Spätzle. That was okay. That
okay,
carried me. Yeah.
okay. We'll skate past that for now. But that like okay, fair enough. So okay, is that hey? Do you have so many? You're so diverse in foods. Like you, the beef Wellingtons, like I'm really surprised about the beef Wellington because that just seems really hard to make. By the way, that's why I keep bringing it up. It just seems very difficult to make, and maybe that's just me.
I mean, it is, yeah. I've done it so many times now because once I kind of gotten into the rhythm of doing it, I would make it for my family for like holidays. That would be something that I would offer if I went to go visit my friends for like a long weekend, if we were having sort of like a family meal together. So
Yeah.
repetition definitely helps, but it is still a very technical dish. I only There are some things where I will learn how to do it, and if it was too painstaking, I won't do it again. I like cross it off my bucket list. So I've made a puff pastry once.
Mm.
I will never make a puff pastry again.
Do you watch Great British Baking Show?
I do, yeah.
I feel like every time they make a pastry, it's like the worst thing in the world that's ever happened.
It's so labor intensive, and usually that's kind of what I love about cooking because then the reward is so sweet. But I think that's my line. I'm like, okay, nope, I did it once. I'm not doing this again. This wasn't worth
That
it.
that's totally fair. Like it
Yeah.
just seems like the worst thing to do. So yeah, that did like good on you for trying it. Now you know.
Yeah. Yeah. The more
Now you
brought to you by the more you know. Don't do
Yeah.
this.
Yes, exactly. Is there a part of you that like I know you've put a couple things out there food-wise.
Mhm.
Is there a part of you that wants to also add like food stuff to the stuff you're doing online right now?
Yes, I actually am playing around with an idea to do that. I don't know if it'll be like the start of 2026, but I
Oh,
do have an idea for adding food into the rotation with magic. Because
that's awesome.
I post once a week, which is like that's my lane. I'm chill. I'm not here to grind. I'm here to offer something, a sweet little treat. So I do kind of want to add possibly food into the rotation.
That's awesome because I know you did the Ragost,
Yes. Yeah.
which you like hedged your bet immediately. You're like, listen.
Yeah, I know what this man's about. Every
Yeah,
once in a while, I need to do a joke cocktail, so my idea was like, well, here's the drink for him, but it's just food.
yeah. That's really, really funny. And then you did the this is a while back. You did the Get Rog, right?
I did the Gitrog. I did Thalia and the Gitrog because that's
Yeah.
one of my favorite commanders. I'll
Oh,
be honest, it was kind of a little LOL of a cocktail, but I was like, this slaps. This is so good. That dirty pickle martini, it was
that's
really good.
awesome. That's awesome. I'm excited to see more of that stuff too because
Mhm.
I here I'm gonna gas you up more because this is just like the whole thing. Like, but your stuff is awesome. Your stuff is awesome.
Thank you.
It looks gorgeous too. By the way, like not just the glasses themselves, but like the camera work.
Oh, thank you.
It's so crisp, so clean. Like that's one of the things when I watch people's stuff more than anything. I go to record my stuff and I'm like, oh, this looks all right. And then I watch other people's stuff. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with my camera?
I feel like that too. So I get that. That's something I'm always constantly like when I'm filming or when I'm editing, I go, oh, maybe I could have done this different. It, but I have such like a simple, clean setup that I try
Mhm.
to make sure that is as crisp as possible. So thank you for saying that. I'm like, yes,
Yeah,
I tricked them all. They think
yeah,
I know what I'm doing.
it looks super clean. Also, the coaster that you use is dope. I love two-tone things.
Oh yeah.
Like my wedding ring is three-toned. It's called the Triceratops, which is funny. I came out to my wife later as being bi, so like
Mhm,
it's basically just a biceratops, whatever. But it like I love that kind of stuff, and especially
mhm,
when it looks good. And I think that adds the pop to the even though it's still black and brown, just like the
mhm.
background and the table, like it adds a different layer to it just because it's the
Yeah.
shades thing, right? So I think that's very creative from you as well, that just those little tweaks that you've done along the way, that they're not unnoticed. They're wholly
Thank you.
noticed. I want you
Thank
to
you.
know, like it's it may be little things, but I really appreciate them because that's like the things that I notice and what's going on. Maybe that's my ADHD. I don't know. Who knows? But I really like that part of it.
Oh,
So
thank you.
good on you for that. Yeah. So I also see that you just recently started your TikTok, right?
Yeah, I realized I like this to be low effort because if I'm not having fun, I don't want to do it. But I
Yeah.
also realized I was like, maybe I'm a little too chill. I was like, all I have to do is just post it on TikTok. It's
Yeah.
literally one extra step. And so I was like, I should do that now. I should wait. I should it's the same thing. I should just do it. So yeah,
That's fair.
a little more engagement.
So do you like so right now it's just Instagram and TikTok?
Yeah, and then I have a blue snapper that I forget about. I look at it every 2 weeks, I go, "Oh, yeah." I think
The
it's
oh
because yeah, I was never on X
yeah.
ever, so I think the behaviors, I never learned it, so I
Yeah.
have it and I go, "Great," and sometimes someone tags me in something and I go, "Yes, I recall. I have a login for this."
I was gonna say, I feel like the only person I see that is consistently on there that isn't like a big
Mhm.
like player or whatever is Jane. Jane plays Magic.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
feel like Jane is blue sky at this
Yeah.
point. Like
Yes.
Jane does a fantastic job. Shout out Jane. Love Jane.
Yes. Big up.
I feel like blue sky is still in service because of Jane.
Yes.
That's my opinion on blue sky. So I totally understand. And then one more thing that I want to talk about is ink mats.
Yes, yeah.
Ink
Mhm.
mats is something that you're doing recently. Now you are an artist for them, correct?
I am, yeah. I grew up doing art my whole life. I was very fortunate to have a parent who taught me and nurtured drawing growing up. I went
Yeah.
to art school for college. I had taken quite a bit of time off from doing anything artistic for almost a decade. And
Mhm.
every now and then I kind of dip my toe back in. It's not like riding a bike. I learned where I was like, oh damn it, I gotta relearn these muscles. So when Inkmats reached out to be an artist, because here and there I would do tokens for people in the space, or I would like
Yeah.
design little things for them. It was nice that they thought that I was good enough because I also saw some of the names on the roster already, and I was like, oh wow, flattered 100%. But it was felt like the right time to try and almost force myself, like give myself the kick I needed to do drawing again and to kind of get back into that because it was such a huge part of my life. So to marry magic with that, it worked with food and my culinary endeavors. I thought, well, I'll give it a shot. It'll be good
Yeah.
for me to do.
Yeah, it's awesome, and your playmats are really cool. I see you are very inspired by the Japanese. Like I watch a lot of Ink Master. Me and my wife will watch a lot of Ink Master. So Hani masks, like that's
Yes,
something
yeah.
we know a lot about, and I think they're really cool. I think you do a really good job.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
That was after
uh,
many years of being out of practice, so thank you. I
yeah.
was excited about it, though, so then I was like, "Oh, this was the right call. This is" selfishly, I feel great about this right now.
Good, good, and you should feel great about it. Like
Thank you.
what you're doing in the space is definitely. I mean, I don't know about you. You probably know better than I do because it is your niche. But like, I don't see anyone else doing what you're doing as it comes to the cocktails. I don't see anyone else doing what you're doing as it comes to wanting to add food to that aspect. I don't see anyone doing what you're doing just being you. So I think you're doing fantastic with all of this.
Thank you. And I mean, honestly, if there were more people in the space doing it, I think more is more. If this is a creative project is how I view it.
Yeah,
I would be so excited to see what other people are doing because then it just makes me think, "Oh, that was I didn't think of it from that angle." And it just makes me want to do better and for
yeah,
everyone to do better. But I mean, I would be excited to see that. Everyone
yeah,
needs to have a drink. Everyone needs to have a little bite while they're playing with their friends, getting absolutely smashed on. That's usually
right?
me.
The same, I get it. Command Zoe, shout out to her. She absolutely kicked my butt the other night on Sophia's stream. So yeah, I feel it. So as we kind of wind down here, I've had a really great time speaking
Me
with you, and
too.
I really appreciate you coming here, spending time to talk about things that you're passionate about and things that I think are just really great aspects of you shown in the community. So I really thank you for that. But I do have a few like quick hitter questions. Okay,
Okay.
these are going to
Mhm.
be like the hardest questions you've ever heard.
Oh,
They're
no.
very
Okay.
very difficult. Okay, what's your favorite card?
Oh, wow. I'm gonna go gut feeling. I'm not gonna make this painful for either of
Yeah.
us. I'm gonna say Champion of the Perished.
Okay, champions. What? Why?
It was the first card that I, quote unquote, found myself that I went and told my friend, I was like, this would be good for the first deck I'm making, right? And he said yes. So it's kind of like, oh, I found something. I know magic now.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Champion of the parish is whenever another human enters, get a +1/+1 counter.
Oh, I'm talking about the zombie one, Champion of the Perished.
Oh,
Sorry,
parish.
that's on me. Yeah.
No, that's okay. What is that one? Because I don't know it right offhand.
Whenever another zombie ETBs, you put a +1/+1 on it. But it is
Okay,
that sort of like really
same thing.
cool story card. Yeah. The
Yeah.
the the
Uh,
before and after.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that
Mhm.
makes a lot of sense. Perfect. What is your favorite deck that maybe you've ever played or that you currently have? It could be either one.
I think I'm going really sentimental in all my answers. I think Prosper Tomebound, that was one of the first decks that I made where I made a deck that wasn't just aggro or combat and swing with monsters. It's all an artifact ping deck and playing from
Mm.
exile and killing people with greed with my treasure tokens.
Yeah, I don't. I Prosper is fantastic.
So good.
Prosper. Do you still have it intact or no?
I do. I have to give it a few TLC tweaks so that way it can kind of make its way back onto streams.
Okay, okay. So it's not. So it's still together, just not something you played with too recently.
Yeah, and I kinda gave myself the homework task. I was only playing with the decks that were coming with me to Atlanta, so that way they were fresh in my mind.
Gotcha, gotcha. That makes a lot of sense. But Prosper, that's a good. So yeah, Prosper is in the same vein as Ishtola, where you're just trying to do things outside of the normal combat damage that you were talking
Yeah.
about before. That
Mhm.
makes a lot of sense. All right, this one is a hard one. I'm not gonna lie to you. This one is a hard
Okay.
one. What is a card that you play most often? It can be an artifact that goes into everything, or when you go to play black because you love black. When
I
you go to play
do.
black, this is the black card that goes in every single deck. For me, just to give you an example, for me,
Yeah.
it's for artifacts. It's Elixir of Immortality.
Ooh,
Uh,
okay, nice. Mhm.
one drop, tap two, tap it, sack it. Shuffle your graveyard and Elixir of Mortality into your deck, and then you gain 5 life. I really like trying to save my graveyard whenever people are trying to either steal stuff from it or try to
Mm.
exile it. And that card has saved me more times than I'm willing to admit.
This is gonna be so boring, but it is the truth. Rogue's Passage, just because I
Okay.
play so many aggro decks and a lot of
Yeah.
Voltron style decks, I even sometimes when I don't need it in a deck, I'm like, "Maybe I do though. I could need this. You never know. Don't
I
block me."
so
Yeah.
so I will say we have a friend, Volker Druid, love him. He puts Maze of Ith in every single deck,
Mhm.
whether or not it actually makes sense for the deck. So I
Yeah.
totally understood putting Rogue's Passage in. Like you just never know when it's going to
Yeah.
come in handy. Plus,
Yeah,
at
maybe.
least Rogue's Passage can tap for a mana.
Yes, it's not the best multi-purpose card out there, but I'm like, "Ugh," that's what I tell myself when I wake up
Yeah,
and I go, "Does this deck need a road passage?" I think it does.
yeah. It may only happen 1 in 100 games, but when you get that free hit that wins you the game, that
Yes.
like it's worth it, right? It's worth
You
it.
hit someone with a 1/1 token weenie, I'm like, "Yeah, but I just didn't want you to block it. You had 1 life left. I needed this. Let me have
Yes,
this."
exactly. I'm with you on that one. I think that's a great shout. And what is a card that you think people should play more often?
Ooh, I think Aetherize or any sort of card similar to that, it's kind of a fun, less salty Psych Rift.
Mhm.
And kind of a really good card that I've used on a lot of times that people are going, "Oh, I forgot about that." And I was like, "Yeah, sorry." Tapping for 3 and just being like, "I'm sorry. Please don't touch me. Get out of here."
Mhm.
Especially if there's like, "Oh, you got 100 tokens coming your way." I'm like, "No, I would like one more turn, please." Uh,
Yeah,
yeah. So you should do that. You should stop people from beating you up like I
yeah,
do with my aggro decks.
yeah. Follow-up question. How do you feel about interaction in general in Magic? You know, some people don't like it, some people love it. How do you feel about interaction in general?
Oh, I mean, it's necessary, it's part of the game. I wish I was better at it. That's I
That's why
no.
you're playing Ishtola, because
Yeah,
you wanna be able to say in response,
I
yeah.
yeah, those so powerful. No, I it's part of the game, I don't know, I'm never salty, I'm never salty if someone
Good,
does something, you know? That's
good.
it's a call and response, you know? The whole game is.
Yeah. No, I love that. I think Aetherize is a great card too, and you're right. People put in your decks, people. Great.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's so cheap. Do it.
It is, yeah, yeah, and if it saves you for 1 turn and you win the game, cool, and
Yeah.
if you don't, then you were gonna die anyway, so it's fine. And last question, what is something that you hope to see in the future, either coming from WotC, coming from Magic: The Gathering, the community, yourself? What is something that you're hopeful for?
Ooh. I'm more support for its players who love the game, especially women in Magic, and I think I'm saying that from, like, a content creator aspect.
Yeah,
I think being open to what everyone is saying in terms of this sort of, like, product burnout. I
mhm,
understand at the end of the day it is a business, but I also and this could just be my philosophy, sometimes I think less is more, especially if something comes out less, but it's an amazing set that everyone is talking about and wants to keep buying rather than just immediately kind of moving on to the next thing and spending money on it. So I think slowing down a little bit would be nice for me. I think I know that at least the last 2 sets that came out. I'm not a UB hater. I was a burnout hater. I was like, I can't. I'm tapped out.
yeah. I love Spider-Man, and I just couldn't get excited for it.
Yeah.
It's so much. We're already at time of recording, we're already spoiling Ninja Turtles, and that's 3 sets away.
Yeah, that's it's more so that. I'm like, please slow down.
Yeah.
I can't keep up. I
I
don't
miss the
want I
days.
I don't wanna keep up sometimes, and I go,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's not a good sign."
I miss the days, and I mean, this was only a few years ago, but it feels like forever ago, when they would post the schedule, and at the end of the schedule, it would say, like, tennis and, like, golf, where it was they
Oh,
didn't
uh-huh.
have the sets announced yet, so they had to have keywords in there.
Yeah,
Uh, so, like, I miss those days where it's like, yeah, we're like, these are when things might come out, but, we don't wanna say what it is yet because we don't wanna get too far ahead of ourselves.
yeah.
Um, I miss those days, but we are where we are today, and hopefully, like you said, maybe they can slow down just a touch,
Just a little.
just a
We'll
touch.
find a sweet spot for both of us, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully, one of these days. Haley, again, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us today and talking about everything from food to magic to everything in between. We really appreciate your time today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Thank you for
Yeah,
making the time for me to be here. I had so much fun.
yeah. Is there anything you'd like to plug? Anything you'd like anything in your future that you want to let people know about?
Honestly, just, reach out to people that you see online that you like their content. I mean, that's anytime someone reaches out to me and it wants to just have like a conversation about magic in general, I love that. That's also another thing that I think is just kind of great about this community.
Yeah.
I'm not here to get numbers. I'm not here to do anything crazy. I just want to play magic and meet more people that are cool.
Yeah, I love that. And I will say, I mean, on top of that, I'm MTG Demonic Tutor, Instagram, TikTok now, Blue Sky sometimes. Haley is an amazing follow. If you're not following her, why? Come on, like join the club. Haley's fantastic, and you'll find some great drinks and potentially food later on
Maybe.
along the way. So Haley, again, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. Everyone, just remember when despair tries to win, keep hope and counter with hope. Have a great one. See you next time.